Layla and Samir met on a night train to Istanbul. She was a medical student going home for the summer. He was a musician heading to his first real gig. They sat across from each other for 9 hours, talking softly while the train clattered through the dark. By the time they arrived, they'd swapped numbers and, without saying it aloud, their lives had tilted. Over the next 4 years they built a quiet life, together in a small flat above a bakery. They had no luxury, but they had rituals. Late breakfasts on the balcony, vinyl records at night, penciled notes on the fridge like tiny love letters. Samir wrote songs inspired by Layla. She stayed up to hear them before her hospital shifts. But life was heavy. Her long hours and his struggling career left them exhausted. Samir began spending more time at the studio with a singer named Noura, who had the same hunger for music he once had. She was everything Layla wasn't anymore. Free of exhaustion, unburdened by responsibility. One night after a rehearsal, Samir kissed Noura. It was brief, impulsive, but it changed everything. He went home and stared at Layla asleep on the couch, her medical books open around her, and felt a guilt he couldn't name. He told himself it meant nothing, but his distance grew. Layla sensed it. The half smiles, the phone calls outside, the songs no longer about her. One evening she found a receipt in his jacket from a hotel near the studio. Her hands shook as she put it back. She didn't confront him right away. Instead, she started working extra shifts, hoping to outrun the ache in her chest. Samir, meanwhile, realized Noura was only a mirror of his own restlessness. He didn't even like who he was around her. He tried to end it, but the damage was done. The night he finally confessed, Layla listened silently. Then she packed a small suitcase and left without shouting. She left the keys on the table and a note. I caught the same train. Only this time you didn't come with me. Samir tried to call, to find her at the station. But she had already boarded a train back to her parents' city. She never returned to the flat. Years later, Samir was successful. His songs on the radio. But every time he played that old track he wrote on their balcony, he saw her face in the audience that wasn't there. Layla built a new life far away. She married a kind man who knew her story but loved her anyway. The train where they'd first met still ran through the night. But it never stopped at the same place twice. Boom. This kind of ending shows how betrayal can close a chapter completely, even if love was once